Welcome to night 3 in Sean's Halloween horror reviews. Tonight I'm reviewing the 2002 horror 28 Days Later. 28 Days Later stars Cillian Murphy, Naomie Harris, Brendan Gleeson, Christopher Eccleston and Megan Burns. The film starts out with these activists trying to free chimpanzees from this medical lab. They've been infected with the rage virus, and the rage virus can be transmitted through blood. The rage-infected chimps affect the activists, and they turn into these crazy zombies, really, but they never use the word zombies in the film. Cillian Murphy plays Jim. Jim was hit by a car and ended up in a coma, so he sort of missed out on all this sort of infection going on. He wakes up to an empty hospital, and Danny Boyle, the director, purposely shot the film at 5 in the morning just so he could film empty London. Now, the empty London scene is particularly the creepiest scene for me, just because it's completely unexpected. You don't ever see an empty London. He wanders into a church and realises what's happening because all these infected people are racing after him. He doesn't know what's going on, but he eventually finds Naomie Harris. Naomie Harris also plays Diadalma in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Her character is sort of harsh and brutal at times. She's willing to kill her best friend just so she can survive. Director Danny Boyle and Naomie Harris had a talk before shooting about where her character was in life, really. It's not mentioned in the movie, but it's said that her backstory is she had to kill her parents who were infected to save her little brother. But she didn't realise that her little brother was also infected, so she had to kill her entire family one afternoon. So there was a reason built up as to why she was so harsh and so brutal. After hearing an emergency broadcast on the radio, they hear that there's some sort of utopia where no one's infected. Jim and Selena try to get there. They get chased by zombies and eventually come across Brendan Gleeson's character Frank and his daughter Hannah, played by Megan Burns. I thought it was funny when we met Megan's character Hannah, because even though the whole country is being overrun by zombies, she's still that sort of moody teenager when we first meet her. That sort of, yeah, whatever. But then eventually you see the softer side of her, you see that emotion open up, and the fear in general. The whole movie does tap into everyone's fear, really. I mean, if you got chased by someone who wanted to just rip your flesh off, you'd tend to be a bit frightened. Christopher Eccleston plays Major Henry West. He sort of is the one in charge of this utopia that everyone has found. When we first meet Christopher Eccleston's character, he seems this charming, nice man, but there's a bit more villainous side to him, really. That's really all I can say about the plot without giving anything away. But that's what the movie's about, that they just run for 2 hours. This movie is one of my all-time favourite horrors, just for the pure fact that it was so original. No one had ever done anything like this before. Danny Boyle's films before, like Shallow Grave, they're very dark. They're all very dark, but this 28 Days Later just set the trend now for the new sort of genre of zombie movies. Cillian Murphy's character is the most believable, most realistic character, because he's woken up when everything has already happened. So we're sort of put in his position where we don't know what's going on, and we're dropped in the middle of this. Everyone else in the cast has sort of gotten time, obviously, to get used to the fact, okay, we're being overrun by these rage-infected zombies. But with Cillian Murphy, he has to go through this now himself. So like him trying to find his family, him following these new people just to try and survive, and how he changes as a person from that like sort of soft human, really, to this sort of, he has to become cold, and you know, if he wants to survive, he has to become this sort of soldier in a way. Brendan Gleeson's character is actually funny because I think in some way he's in a state of denial, that he's sort of, it seems that he's looking on the bright side of everything, that like even his apartment, it's decorated with Christmas decorations and Christmas lights, and it's sort of this surreal moment where you're sort of like, you do know what's going on here, don't you? Out of all the movies that I've reviewed this week, I think this is the one that will really give you a fright. There's nothing cheesy really in this film. I think 1 or 2 lines could be cheesy, but I think the fact that it makes it so real. The acting, the actors, everyone, like there's not one sort of supporting member of the cast or main cast member that drags this film down. On the surface of these sort of scares, like you'd get like zombies jumping out of nowhere and giving you that instant ah! But I think over the course of the entire film, there is this sort of building I'm building fear, I suppose. All those sort of people who believe in the whole 2012 thing, that the world is going to end in 2012, this sort of movie would influence them to be like, what if we turned into zombies? So that's my third review done. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, so was it fourth night tomorrow night, so I hope you tune in and see that. See you later.